Okay, so for this question, the very first thing I'm going to produce is this center line in this manner. Okay, so after producing that center line, I'm going to produce a vertical line. Yeah, using the center line also. I'm going to produce that on it in this manner. Okay, after doing that, if we take note of the question on the screen, all right, so the first circle there is a circle of diameter 102, and that is radius what? Radius 51. So with radius 51 on my compass, yeah, that bigger circle with radius 51 on my compass, standing on this midpoint, I'm going to what? Produce my first circle, which is this. All right, then the circle sitting inside of it is diameter 50, which is radius what? Radius 25, which is this. So with radius 25, I produce this second circle right here. Okay, so if we take note of the question on the screen, from the midpoint of our circle towards the left hand side and right hand side, we have a mark of length what? Length 64. So with my compass, measuring length of what? 64. Okay, standing from on this main point, I strike an arc like this and way like this. Okay, so after doing that, what is the next procedure? Towards my left and right hand side, first of all, I'm having a small circle, yeah, of diameter 16, and that is radius what? Radius 8. So with my compass and measuring radius 8, which is this, it's quite small, standing at this midpoint right here. Okay, so I produced this circle with radius 8, then standing right here also with radius 8, I produce. Okay, so then on its outside here, I'm having a circle or a half circle, yeah, of radius what? Radius 16, which is this. Okay, radius 16, which is this. You need to be careful with your measurement, all right? So standing on this same midpoint, I'm going to what? Draw in this manner. Then with the same radius 16, standing here, I'm going to what? Draw in this manner also. All right, so if we take a very good look at the question right there, we have an arc joining these areas all together, and that arc is said to be arc of radius what? Radius 26. And merely looking at that arc, if we trace it out, it is what? An external arc. That is the first arc here, second, third, and fourth. They are all what? They are all external arc. Therefore, we are applying the principle of what? Of addition. Principle of addition. Okay, so on these smaller circles, first of all, this circle is radius what? Radius 16. While the arc itself is radius what? Radius 26. Okay, radius 16 plus radius 26, that is radius 42. Okay. So with my compass, I measure radius what? 42. With radius 42 on my compass, which is this, I stand at this midpoint right here. I produce this arc. 1, 2. I come to this center right here with the same radius 42. I produce this arc. 3 and what? And 4. Okay. This bigger circle, its radius is what? Radius 51. 51 plus 26, that is what? 77. So with my compass, I measure radius 77, which is this. Okay, with radius 77, standing at the center, I pick my first arc, second, third, and what? Fourth, intersecting the arcs which I drew earlier on. All right, so after doing that, then I'm going to pick my radius what now? Radius 26, which is the radius of that arc itself. So with my radius 26, standing at this first point of intersection right here, I draw in this manner. Okay, with the same radius 26, standing at this point of intersection right here, I draw my second arc, you can see, in this manner. With the same radius 26, standing at this third point of intersection, I draw my arc. Yeah, you need to be careful. I draw my arc in this manner. And with the same radius 26, standing at this fourth point of intersection, I draw my arc in this manner. I draw my arc in this manner. Okay, so what's the next procedure? What's the next procedure? Take note that from the center of this circle towards the bottom, I'm having an height of what? 128. An height of 128. So I'm going to pick my ruler, mark 0 at the center of this circle, right? Then height of what? 128, which is this. That is the mark of 128. So on that mark of 128, I'm going to produce a thin horizontal line in this manner, right? Yeah, a thin horizontal line. Yeah, so that is it. So what is the next thing to do? What is the next procedure? Okay, so from this center, yeah, if you take note of the question on the screen, towards the top, I'm having a length of what? Towards the top, I'm having a length of what? A length of 26. So from this midpoint, which mark 26 on my compass, I strike an arc in that manner. Now you see. Then from this same midpoint to the bottom, I'm having a length of what? A length of 50. With my compass, I measure mark of what? 50, which is this. Then from this midpoint, I strike that arc at the bottom. Okay, so what's the next procedure to do? I'm going to produce what? Horizontal lines on those points. Okay, first here, then secondly, right here, thin horizontal line. So, and also I'm going to extend this vertical line coming from the top. I'm going to extend it downward very well. Okay. So that is it. All right. So if we take note of what is on the screen, from this center line at the bottom side, we have a mark of 50 towards the left and what? 50 towards the right. So with my compass measuring mark of 50, which is this, I'm going to stand right here. Okay, strike an arc right here and what? And right here. Okay, then at those positions which I strike the arc, I'm going to produce perpendiculars. Okay, I'm going to drag those perpendiculars to here, to the top, in form of a center line, right? So make it thin, right? So that's it. Then on this axis also. Okay, so as it is now, all right, so as it is now, we have a midpoint right here. Okay, we have a midpoint right here, we have one here, and we have one here. Okay, and we're told that on this first midpoint, second midpoint, and third midpoint here, we have three circles. We have a bigger circle and we have what? An internal circle inside of them, all right? So for the internal circles, we are told that their diameter is what? Is diameter 24. And their radius will be what? Like that. Radius what? Radius 12. So picking my compass, all right, measuring radius of what? Of 12, which is this. I stand right here, okay? I produce this first circle in this manner. All right, so with the same radius 12, I come down here, I produce this circle in this manner. With the same radius 12, I come down here, I produce this circle, in this manner. All right, then for their bigger circles, we will do that their diameter is diameter 50, which carries a radius of what? Radius of 25. So with radius 25 on my compass, which is this, standing at this first midpoint right here, I produce this big circle of radius 25, as you can see. Okay, so coming here with radius 25, I produce what? With radius 25, I produce this second circle, as you can see. Coming down here, I produce this third circle of radius what? Radius 25, as you can see right on the screen. Okay, that being settled. So on this fourth midpoint here, we were told that we have two circles there also. So the one inside is diameter 16, which is radius what? Radius 8. Okay, so with my compass and my ruler, I measure radius of what? Radius of 8, which is this. Then standing right here, I produce that first circle with radius 8. Okay, and we're told that the bigger circle there is diameter 32, which is radius what? Radius 16. So with my compass and my ruler, I measure radius of what? 16, which is this. So standing right here, I produce that second circle, which is what you are seeing on the screen. Okay, now back to the real business. You take note that we have an arc here, 1, and the second arc here, 2. Okay, let's do that first of all. All right, so the arc here is radius 50. The arc here is also what? Radius 50. And since these three circles are of the same dimension, and even the arc in this area is also what? Is also radius 50. And even this fourth part here, the arc there is also what? Radius 50. Okay, so but let's focus on the arc here and the arc here first of all. All right, so the radius of our circle here is radius 25, and radius what? 25. So 25 plus 50, that is what? 75. That is 75. So with my compass, I measure radius 75, which is what I'm having right there. Then placing my compass right here, I strike this arc 1. Okay, standing right here, I strike an arc at the bottom here, 2, 1 here. Yeah, so I'm having an intersection here right now. My first intersection, all right. Then with the same radius 75 standing right here, I draw another arc. So I'm having another intersection here right now, making what? Making 2. So instead of me giving myself unnecessary headache with that same radius 75, since I'm still going to do an addition here, so come here, strike an arc of radius 75 towards this direction also. Then come here, strike an arc of radius what? 75 towards this direction also. Okay, now back to this area. The next procedure is to what? Pick my compass and measure radius of what? 50, which is this. Okay, so with my radius 50, standing at this point of intersection right here, I'm going to what? Draw the what? The arc, which is what you are seeing on the screen right now. That is what? An external arc. With the same radius 50, standing at this intersection right here, I'm going to what? Hey, you need to be careful, all right? Draw the second arc, which is what you are seeing on the screen right now. All right, so now these ones are also arc of radius 50, but mind you, the radius of this circle here is radius what? Radius 16. Okay, so 50 plus 16, that is what? 66. Pick your compass, measure radius 66, which is what I'm having right here. With radius 66, placing my compass right here, I strike this arc right here, then I strike what? This arc right here. Therefore, I'm having what? This intersection here and what? This intersection right here. So the next procedure is pick my compass and measure radius what? Radius 50. Okay, with radius 50 on my compass at this intersection right here, I draw this arc, as you can see on the screen. Okay, I drew this arc. Then at this intersection right here with the same radius 50, I draw this second arc, as you can see on the screen right there. Okay, so that is settled. Yeah, it looks simple, isn't it? So that's just the beauty if you understand the principles. All right, so now let's draw the arcs on the inside. So right here we have an arc on the inside here, and we have another arc on the inside here. Okay, and we are told that the arcs on the inside are arc of radius what? Radius 26. Okay, let's draw this first of all. This arc is also what? An external arc. Radius 26 plus radius 25, that is radius what? Radius 51. With my compass, I measure radius what? 51. Standing at this midpoint, I I strike an arc in this manner with the same radius 51. Standing here, I strike another arc. Okay, so I'm going to need an arc of radius 51 towards this area. So let me just strike it once and for all in extension like that. Do you get? Now back. Pick my compass, measure radius 26, which is this. Come to this point of intersection right here. Then join, as you can see. Okay, I join. So that is settled. That is settled. So for this area here, radius 26 plus radius 16, that is radius 42. With my compass, I measure radius 42. Then standing at this midpoint with radius 42, I strike my corresponding arc, which is right here. So from that junction, I pick my radius 26, which is this on my compass. My radius 26. Then from this point of intersection, okay, I'm going to draw my arc. Can you see? So that is my arc of radius radius 26 also. Now we are almost done. All right, we are almost done. So for us is to link this area to this to this area here. So how do we do that? So take note of this. You will notice that from this center, the line coming here, linking this area and this area all together, is from this midpoint and this midpoint here. So what you are going to do is pick your set square and T-square, then align it to this midpoint. Okay, so produce a thin horizontal line like this. You see? Then align it to this midpoint also. I'm going to also produce a thin horizontal line in that manner. Okay, do we have it there now? Yes. Now let's go back to business. Right, back to business. So the radius of the arc linking this line to this area here is radius radius 38. So what am I going to do? What I'm going to do is this. I'm going to pick my compass, measure radius radius 38 like this. Can you see? So with radius 38 on my compass, coming, since this line here aligns to the midpoint here, so from this midpoint I'm measuring mark of 38 outside here. Okay, on that mark of 38, I'm going to produce a perpendicular to it towards the top like this. Just take note. This is it. This is the line of 38. So a perpendicular in this manner. So which is already drawn. Yeah. So the distance between this line and this straight line is is 38. Okay. What is the next procedure? This arc of radius 38 is external. It is external. And you remember that this circle is circle of radius radius 16. Therefore, 38 plus 16. 38 plus 16 is is 54. Pick your compass, measure radius radius 54, which is this. With radius 54, standing at this midpoint, I strike an arc. Okay, the arc I strike intersect the vertical line here at this junction. So what's the next procedure? Pick my compass and measure radius 38, which is this. So with my radius 38, from this junction right here, I draw. As you can see on the screen, I draw. Can you see? Do you take note of that? So that is it over there. Okay, so right here also we are having an arc of radius radius 38. All right. So since the line from here to here is the same thing, look at the question on the screen. It still aligns. It's still the same straight line that this arc is going to sit on. So from here to here is already 38. So the next procedure is radius 38 plus radius 16. That is 54. Pick your compass and measure radius radius 54. Radius 54 is this. So with radius 54, from this midpoint, I strike my arc in this manner. Can you see? So, and this is point of intersection. So at that point of intersection with radius 38 measured on my compass, with radius 38 measured, standing at this point of intersection right here, I'm going to draw. Can you see? I'm going to draw. So that is it on the screen. After drawing, then I'm going to link the 2 points together tangentially with with my ruler. So that is it, settled, right? So moving to this other side here, the radius of the arc there is also radius what? Radius 38, and we already have this straight line there. So the next procedure is pick my ruler, measure radius 38, which is this. Stand at this center here, strike an arc of radius 38 towards the outside here, as you can see on the screen. Then project it vertically with a thin line to the top in this manner, right? So the distance of this line from here to here is what? Is 38. That is what it actually what implies. That is what it implies over there, right? So okay, so since the distance between this line and this is 38, so and the radius for this circle is what? Is 25. And remember, this arc is also what? An external arc. So radius 25 plus radius 38, that is radius what? 63. So with my compass, I measure radius what? 63, which is what I'm having right here. With radius 63 on my compass, standing at this midpoint here, I strike this arc in this manner. So my arc intersects this vertical line right here. Okay, then I'm going to measure radius what? Radius 38, which is this. With my radius 38 coming down here, I'm going to what? Draw that arc. Yeah, as you can see, right? So that is the arc right there. Okay, so towards the top here, we already have the vertical line, and this is what? 60. Okay, so since here to here is still 38, so 38 plus radius 16 is what? Is 54. With 54 on my compass, standing at this midpoint, all right, I'm striking this arc right here. So my arc touches the straight line at this junction where I dotted there. So then I'm going to pick my compass and measure radius what? Radius 38, which is this. So with my radius 38 from this junction, right, I'm going to what? Draw. As you can see on the screen right there. I draw. So then I'm going to what? Join the 2 points together tangentially in this manner. Right? Yeah, in that manner. Okay, so that is the solution to that very question on the screen. So you can just put the dimension, for instance, now this area for now. Yeah. Actually, this is enough as it is. Okay, so that is the solution to this very problem. That is the solution to that problem. Thank you.